Namaste everyone. Thank you so much for joining me again for my third video on chess puzzles. Arabian mate happens when the rook and the knight conspire against the opponent king. You can see this pattern quite easily in the late middle game or the end game when the rook is super active and knight is also in one of the progressed squares. So, without spending any more time on the introduction, let's dive right into a couple of examples. Let us recap the things that you need to look on the board. The first one is the fact that the king has to be somewhere in the corner. It usually is a castle king, so it can be any one. It can be on any one of these squares in the corner on either sides of the board. The next thing that we should try for is to bring our rook on the seventh or the eighth ranks, so that we are closer to the opponent king. And the last thing that we should try for is to bring our knight on this S6 square. It could be C6, it could be C3 or F3 as well, depending on where the opponent king is. Okay, so let's see what we can do in this example. We know that the black king is trapped on the back rank. It is blocked from the square G8 and H7 because of our knight, and it also cannot come to G7 because of our rook. So there is just one move that we can make as white, and that's rook to h7, which delivers a beautiful checkmate because the king is completely trapped. Let's look at one more example before we dive into some challenges. This is example number 2. Let us revise the points we discussed, which are on the right side of your screen. The king should be somewhere in the corner, our knight should be on f6, and our rook should be somewhere on the 7th or the 8th ranks. In this case, as we can see, our pawn on g5 also plays a very important role because it blocks king's escape square of h6. Therefore, in one move, we can deliver a beautiful checkmate, and that's rook to g8. With this, I believe that you are ready for some challenges. I'm going to show you three puzzles. The first one is going to be the easiest, and the last one may be slightly difficult. With that, I present to you the first puzzle of the day. In this case, it's white to move. Please pause the video, think for a solution, and come back whenever you are ready. All the best. It starts with a beautiful queen sacrifice on f8. It's queen takes on f8. It's check. The king has nowhere else to go but take the queen. The next move will be to deliver a check from e8 by moving our rook to the last rank. The king, in this case, has nowhere else to go except for the g7 square. And finally, rook comes to g8. It's checkmate. Here comes the next puzzle. Once again, please pause the video. Whenever you're ready, come back. It's black to move. Looking at the pattern on the screen, what we are going to do is try to deliver a checkmate with this rook or this queen on g1 because it is supported by our knight, and the white king cannot escape on any of these squares because of our knight and the pawn. But the last rank is supported by the white rook on a1. So we will just destroy it. We'll start with queen takes on a1, knight takes on a1, and then the last rank is for ours to dominate. And we will do exactly that. Rook, rook goes to d1. The queen will desperately try to prevent rook going to g1 by queen to e1. Rook takes on e1, b6 because white has nothing else to do. Rook g1, checkmate. Although after rook to d1, the white can also take another route. White can try queen e8 check, or king will go to g7, queen e1, rook e1, b6, rook g1, checkmate. Here comes the next and the last puzzle of the day. This could be slightly difficult, so please take your time, think about a solution, and come back whenever you're ready. It's white to move. In this puzzle, our first instinct is to move rook to c1. The king will come to e7, rook e8, and the king will escape to d6. This is not benefiting us in any way. However, when we think about this line, we find our white rook on the e8 square, and this entire file is open. So if we can bring any of the black pieces on the E file, we can gobble it up. Then let's try to do that. We'll start with Rook C1. The black has very few options, and the best option it has right now is Bishop to E2. The next we can do is Rook C8, King E7, Rook E8 check, King D6. The king escaped, but the black bishop is ours to take. What if the black bishop goes somewhere else? For example, if the black bishop goes to D3, in that case, Rook E1, and now the black will have to bring the bishop here because if not, then Rook comes to E8, king goes to G7, and Rook to G8, checkmate. So the black bishop will have to try to block, and we get the black bishop in exchange for a pawn. I hope you were able to see these variations. Thank you once again for visiting my channel. I'll keep posting new videos for you. Namaste.